What's going on, everybody? This is MDENT313, and I'm back at y'all with another one. Listen, I like to give you my thoughts on Shakur Stevenson and his issue with Top Rank and the treatment of Vasyl Lomachenko. Well, after Vasyl Lomachenko's impressive performance versus George Kambosos, in which he stopped George Kambosos in the 11th round last night with a vicious body shot. He dropped him twice, put him down, finally got rid of him in the late championship rounds in the 11th round. Well, Shakur Stevenson was upset at the media attention and overpraise that Vasyl Lomachenko was getting, in which a lot of us media members has talked about. Vasyl Lomachenko is a phenomenal fighter, but the over glorification of Vasyl Lomachenko is like something you've never seen before. I mean, they compared this guy to being better than Floyd Mayweather. They compared him and said he was better than Sugar Ray Leonard. They even compared and said he was better than the legendary, all-time great Muhammad Ali. And listen, we understand that these promoters got to promote their fighters, but some things is just ridiculous and borderline disrespectful. I mean, listen, he had a phenomenal amateur career, and so far he's had a solid pro career. But to praise a guy who, he's almost in his 40s, he's just now had maybe 22 fights, maybe. He's already got 3 losses. I mean, he had a phenomenal amateur career, don't get me wrong, but to put him on the level of a Muhammad Ali, a Sugar Ray Leonard, and Floyd Mayweather is utterly ridiculous, especially when in his own era, it's fighters that's by far better than him. Fighters such as Terrence Crawford, fighters such as Devin Haney, who beat him already, right? Fighters like Errol Spence. I mean, if they was the same size, I would pick Errol Spence to stop Vasyl Lomachenko. We've already seen Teofimo Lopez beat Vasyl Lomachenko. We've seen Orlando Salido beat Lomachenko. I mean, guys like a Roberto Duran, a Salvador Sanchez, a Floyd Mayweather, a Shane Mosley, Canelo Alvarez, they would never lose to a Orlando Salido type of opponent. I mean, when you look at the skills he have, don't get me wrong, he have a lot of skills, but we've seen multiple styles beat him. We've seen if you can box coming forward and put him on the back foot, you can beat him. I mean, we've seen Teofimo Lopez do it, and we've seen Devin Haney do it. Now, if you're a rough, rugged fighter that can take a punch, but deliver a punch, we've seen Orlando Salido do it. Beat up Vasyl Lomachenko on the inside if you got some decent inside fighting skills. You able to hit punch to the body. Vasyl Lomachenko don't like getting hit to the body. I mean, even in the first couple rounds with the George Kambosos fight, when George Kambosos was landing some solid body shots, Vasyl Lomachenko wasn't liking that, right? Now, I want to get to what Shakur Stevenson said, because Shakur Stevenson has also been calling out Vasyl Lomachenko for a very long time, and he's on the same stable with Vasyl Lomachenko, but he's been unable to get that fight because that's Bob Arum's golden child, right? Each network have a fighter that's their golden child. So they're going to protect that fighter unless that fighter say he wants a certain fight. We seen that with Errol Spence Jr. His team didn't want him to take the Terrence Crawford fight, but he wanted the Terrence Crawford fight, so he took it. After the Deontay Wilder-Tyson Fury first fight, in which I thought Deontay Wilder won, they didn't want him to rematch Tyson Fury, but Deontay Wilder wanted the rematch in the trilogy fight with Tyson Fury, so the fight happened. When Canelo Alvarez, when he was fighting with Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya did not want Canelo Alvarez to fight, what's the Cuban name? Slipped my mind. Phenomenal fighter. And Arslan Lara, excuse me about that, guys. I feel Arslan Lara beat Canelo Alvarez. But shout out to Canelo Alvarez for taking the fight, because Oscar De La Hoya didn't want Canelo to take the fight, but he stood tall and took it. Vasyl Lomachenko has been extremely reluctant to take the Shakur Stevenson fight. Shakur Stevenson got on Twitter and pretty much blasted Top Rank for the overglorification and for allowing Vasyl Lomachenko to duck him. And he also said that Top Rank don't mess with black fighters. Now listen, I don't understand why that's a surprise to Shakur Stevenson, because Todd DeBuff came out and said Top Rank have a NBF list, the no black fighter list. Depending on that certain black fighter, they try to keep certain guys like Manny Pacquiao, how they kept him away from Terrence Crawford. They kept Manny Pacquiao away from Floyd Mayweather for a long time. Pacquiao, he refused to take the Olympic style drug testing for years, but the hatred for Floyd Mayweather was so ridiculous that Floyd Mayweather took the blame for it, when he was the one who made a $40 million offer to Manny Pacquiao. But Manny Pacquiao was saying he was scared of needles, even though that man had plenty of tattoos at the time. So we're not going to play this game. We're not going to do this silly stuff, right? So Shakur Stevenson blasted Top Rank and, put him out there. His next fight is his last fight with Top Rank. Now all of a sudden, Top Rank is offering Vasyl Lomachenko to Shakur Stevenson. But why did it take for this man to threaten to leave, to become a free agent, so you guys can try to reel him in? Because if he would have been loyal and stayed like Terrence Crawford stayed for all those years, they wasn't going to make the big fights for him. But see, when it was fighters like Vasyl Lomachenko or Teofimo Lopez, they continued to make the big fights for him. Or for both of them. Continued, time after time after time. But when it was Shakur Stevenson, they refused to make the big fights for him. Got the man out here calling out Tank, got him calling out Devin. These guys wasn't on his stable. At the time when he was calling Devin out, Devin was already locked up with 2 fights with George Kambosos for undisputed, and for Vasyl Lomachenko. So when Shakur was finally calling him out, he was no longer on the Top Rank stable. Now, do it mean that he couldn't resign? No, but he had already completed his obligation with Top Rank. But Top Rank failed Shakur Stevenson, just like years prior, them failing Terrence Crawford. We all know from the eye test that Terrence Crawford was great, but unfortunately we was unable to see him against the other top welterweights, the Keith Thurmans, the Earl Spence Jr.'s, the Danny Garcias, the Showtime Sean Porters, your Dennis Ugas's, and other guys. Kell Brook, unfortunately, he got those fights later in his career. See, if you're a diehard boxing fan, you know that Terrence Crawford was special, but the whole world should have known he was special. It shouldn't have taken for Earl Spence and another network and for Terrence Crawford to become a free agent for the whole world to see this man and how good and how awesome and how phenomenal of a fighter he is. And I'm happy that Shakur Stevenson is recognizing that in his younger years, and he's recognizing that in his prime. It's unfortunate that, when you don't have the complexion for the protection, your loyalty is not rewarded. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson for doing what's best for his career and his family. And that's all I got for you guys. With that being said, I'm out. Like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification to get all the latest and the greatest in sports, period. Also in movies. I'm going to be doing movies soon. Hit the subscribe button. With that being said, I'm out. Peace.